Hey guys, I've been practicing some Matilda magic, and it turns out that I can control the rain. Are you ready? Here we go. I swear I can do it, just hang on. Let's see. Alright, okay. I guess I have to keep practicing, but while I'm working on that, let's do this 3-digit dividends worksheet, and then maybe by the time we finish that, I'll figure out this whole rain situation. Okay, here we go. Let's check out our homework for 3-digit dividends. Starting with the first one, 126 divided by 6. The first thing I am going to do is make my checklist on the side. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw? And my first step is to determine. So I'm going to underline the 1. If I have 1 Smartie and 6 kids to share them with, I cannot start passing out the Smarties and have enough. So I'm going to go to my next digit. It is a 2. Now I have 12 Smarties and 6 kids, so I can start passing the Smarties out. So I'm going to draw my boxes. 1 box around 12. 1 box around 6, and now I can continue with determine. 6 times what gets me close to 12 without going over. I'm going to put a 2 here because 6 times 2 gets me close to 12. Now I multiply. 6 kids each get 2 Smarties. 6 times 2 equals 12. Subtract. 12 minus 12 equals 0. Compare. If I have 0 Smarties and 6 kids left, 0 Smarties left and 6 kids, the kids are happy because I don't have enough to pass out to each kid. So I'm going to bring over my 0 right here. Then repeat or remainder. It is repeat because I have another box left. So I go back to the top of my checklist and I determine. 6 times what gets me close to 6 without going over. 6 times 1. Then I multiply. 6 kids each get 1 Smartie. 6 times 1 equals 6. Subtract. 6 minus 6 equals 0. Compare. If I have 0 Smarties left and 6 kids, they are happy that they all have an equal amount. So I'm going to bring up my 0, and this time it is a remainder because I don't have another box left. So my answer is 21, remainder 0. Let's look at the next one. This time I have 158 Smarties and 3 kids that I'm sharing with. I'm going to write my checklist. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw? Start with my first step, determine. Underline the first number. It is a 1. If I have 100 pack of Smarties and 3 kids, I can't start giving them out yet. So I'm going to go to my next digit. Now I have 15. If there's 15 and 3 kids, I have enough to start passing out. So I'm going to draw my box around 15 and a box around 8. Still on determine. 3 times what gets me close to 15 without going over. I know 3 times 5 equals 15. Now I multiply. 3 times 5 equals 15. Subtract. 15 minus 15 equals 0. Check. I have 0 Smarties left, so the 3 kids are happy that they have an equal amount. Bring over my 0. And then I'm going to repeat because I have another box left. So back to the top of my checklist, determine. 3 times what gets me close to 8 without going over? That would be 2. Multiply. 3 times 2 equals 6. Subtract. 8 minus 6 equals 2. Compare. I have 2 Smarties left and 3 kids. So not enough Smarties to pass them out to each kid, so I know I'm good. I can bring up the 2. And it is a remainder because I don't have another box left. So my answer is 52, remainder 2. Next one, 113 divided by 2. Start with my checklist. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw? Let's determine. If I underline my 1, I have 100 pack of Smarties. I'm sharing it with 2 kids. I don't have enough packs to give them to 2 kids, so I go to the next number. Now I have 11, and I'm sharing with 2 kids, so I have enough to start passing out. So I'm going to draw a box around my 11, box around my 3, still on step determine. 2 times what gets me close to 11 without going over. I'm going to put a 5 in my quotient. Then I multiply. 2 times 5 equals 10. Subtract. 11 minus 10 equals 1. Compare. I have 1 Smartie left, 2 kids that I'm sharing with, so they're happy that they have an equal amount. I'm going to bring over my 1 in front of the 3, and I'm going to repeat because I have another box left. Back to the top of my checklist, determine. 2 times what gets me close to 13 without going over. 2 times 6. Multiply. 2 times 6 equals 12. Subtract. 13 minus 12 equals 1. Compare. 1 Smartie left, 2 kids, they are happy. Bring over the 1, and this time it is a remainder because I do not have another box left. So my answer is 56, remainder 1. Next problem, 269 divided by 3. I'm going to write my checklist. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw? First step, determine. I have 2 Smarties, and I am sharing them, 200 packs of Smarties, or 2 Smarties ropes, to share with 3 kids, so there's not enough for each kid to get 1. So I'm going to draw my line over to the next number. Now I have 26, so I have enough to start passing out. So I draw my box around 26, my box around 9, still on determine. 3 times what gets me close to 26 without going over. Put an 8. Now I multiply. Tree times skate equals dentifloor, 24. Subtract. 26 minus 24 equals 2. Compare. 2 Smarties to share with 3 kids. They are happy. Bring over the 2. Put it in front of the 9. Then I repeat because I have another box left. Back to the top of my checklist, determine. 3 times what gets me close to 29 without going over. Put a 9. Multiply. 3 times 9, or 3 times 9, 1 less, 27. 27 underneath. Subtract. 29 minus 27 equals 2. Compare. 2 Smarties left, 3 kids, they're happy. Bring up the 2. Repeat or remainder. This time it is a remainder because I don't have another box left. So my answer is 89, remainder 2. Next problem, 195 divided by 4. Start with my checklist. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw? Determine. I have 100 packs of Smarties. I am sharing it with 4 kids, so I don't have enough to give out. So I go to my next number, draw my line. Now I have 19. So I can draw a box around 19, a box around 5, and I'm still on determine. 4 times what gets me close to 19 without going over. 4 times 4. Multiply. Door times door equals sick queen, 16. Subtract. 19 minus 16 equals 3. Compare. I have 3 Smarties left. I'm sharing with 4 kids, so they all have an equal amount and they are happy. Bring up the 3. Then repeat because I have another box left. Start at the top of the checklist. Determine. 4 times what gets me close to 35 without going over. Put an 8. Multiply. Door times skate equals dirty U, 32. Subtract. 35 minus 32 equals 3. Compare. 3 Smarties left to share with 4 kids. They are happy. Bring up the 3, and this time it is a remainder because I don't have another box left. So my answer is 48, remainder 3. Next one, 848 divided by 4. Write your checklist. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw? Determine. I have 8 Smarties. I'm sharing them with 4 friends. So this time I do have enough to start passing my Smarties out. So I'm going to draw a box here, a box around my 4, and a box around my 8 in the ones place. Still on determine, 4 times what gets me close to 8 without going over? 4 times 2. If I multiply, 4 times 2 equals 8. Subtract, 8 minus 8 equals 0. Compare, 0 Smarties, 4 kids, they're happy. Bring up the 0 in front of the 4. And then I am going to repeat because I have another box left. Top of the checklist, determine 4 times what gets me close to 4 without going over. Put a 1. Multiply, 4 times 1 equals 4. Subtract, 4 minus 4 equals 0. Compare, 0 Smarties, 4 kids, they are happy. Bring up the 0 and repeat because I have another spot left, another box left. Checklist one more time. Determine 4 times what gets me close to 8 without going over. 2 again. Multiply, 4 times 2 equals 8. Subtract, 8 minus 8 equals 0. Compare, 0 Smarties, 4 kids, they are happy. Bring up the 0, repeat or remainder. I don't have another box left, so it's a remainder of 0. So each kid gets 212 Smarties, and there are 0 left over. All right, last one up here, 927 divided by 2. First thing I need to do is write my checklist. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw? Determine. Underline the 9. I have 900 packs of Smarties. I'm sharing them with 2 friends, so I have enough to start passing them out. So I'm going to draw a box around the 9, box around the 2, box around the 7. Still on determine, 2 times what gets me close to 9 without going over? 4. Multiply, 2 times 4 equals 8. Subtract, 9 minus 8 equals 1. Compare, 1 Smartie, 2 friends, the kids are happy. Bring up the 1 in front of the 2. And then I'm going to repeat because I have another box left. Back to the top of the list, determine 2 times what gets me close to 12 without going over? 6. Multiply, 2 times 6 equals 12. Subtract, 12 minus 12 equals 0. Compare, 0 Smarties left, 2 kids, they're happy. So I bring up the 0 in front of the 7, and then I repeat because I have another box left. Back to the top, determine 2 times what gets me close to 7 without going over? 2 times 3. Multiply, 2 times 3 equals 6. Subtract, 7 minus 6 equals 1. Compare, 1 Smartie, 2 kids, they're happy. Bring up the 1, and it is a remainder because I don't have another box left. So 463, remainder 1. Okay, let's check out these word problems. You have 213 cookies and 9 trays. You put the same number of cookies on each tray. How many cookies will you put on each tray? So on each tray is in each group. In each group. 213 cookies is our total. Trays is 9. 9 trays is our groups. And if it's the same number of trays, that's a hint word for division. So we're going to divide. I also know I'm going to divide because I know the total and I have groups and in each group. So my division equation is going to be 213 divided by 9. And I'm going to need to show my work with long division. So my total goes inside the box, 213. My groups goes outside, and then I'll get my in each groups in my quotient, my answer part. I'm going to write my checklist to the side. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw? And start with determine. I'm going to underline the 2. If I have 2 100 packs of Smarties, I can't pass them all out to 9 kids, so I'm going to have to go to my next number. If I have 21, now I can start passing them out. So I draw a box around 21 and a box around 3, Still determine 9 times what gets me close to 21 without going over? 2. Multiply, 9 times 2 equals 18. Subtract, 21 minus 18 equals 3. Compare, 3 Smarties, 9 kids. Bring up the 3 in front of the 3, so I have 33. And I'm going to repeat because I have another spot left in my box. Keep going to the top of the checklist. Determine 9 times what gets me close to 33 without going over? 3. Multiply. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 minus 33 equals 6. Oops, subtract. I forgot to check it off. Compare 6 Smarties, 9 kids. They are good. Bring up the 6, and it is my remainder because I don't have any left. So my answer is 23, remainder 6. The question asks, how many cookies will you put on each tray? You will put 23 cookies on each tray. And don't forget to talk about your remainder. Say, with 6 cookies left over. All right, one more word problem, then we're done. Number 2. There were 426 flowers and 9 vases. Each, which I know normally means multiply, each vase must have the same number. Uh-oh, that means divide, so I have to figure out which one it is. Each vase must have the same number of flowers. How many flowers are in each vase? And each vase is in each group. So let's see. 426 I know is the total. 9 vases is my groups. So if I know the total and I know the groups and I need to find out how many are in each group, I'm going to need to divide. So this each does not mean multiply, so I'm going to cross that out. So my equation is going to be 426 divided by 9. So I'm going to write that out as long division. Inside is going to be 426 for my total. Draw my symbol. My 9 is on the outside. Write my checklist. Does McDonald's sell cheese burgers raw? Start out with determine. Underline my first number. It is 4. I have 400 packs of Smarties. I don't have enough to start passing them out to 9 friends. So I'm going to go to my next number. Now I have 42, so I can start passing the Smarties out. So I'm going to draw a box around 42, a box around 6, still on determine. 9 times what gets me close to 42 without going over? 4. Multiply. 9 times 4, 1 less, 36. Subtract. 42 minus 36 equals 6. Compare. 6 Smarties, 9 kids. They are happy because they all have an equal amount. So I'm going to bring up the 6 in front of my other 6. And then I'm going to repeat because I have another box left. Back to the top, determine 9 times what gets me close to 66 without going over? 7. Multiply. 9 times 7, 1 less, 63. Subtract. 66 minus 63 equals 3. Compare. 3 Smarties compared to 9 kids. They all have an equal amount, so they are happy. Bring up the 3. And I'm going to do a remainder because I don't have another box left. So 47, remainder 3. Check the question. How many flowers are in each vase? There are 47 flowers in each vase. Don't forget about your remainder. With 3 flowers left over. All right, there you go. Okay, are you ready? Here's my magic. The trick is that I have to stay very still, but I can control the rain. Watch. How cool is that? All right, good job with 3-digit dividends. I'll see you tomorrow.